Evening, Vicksburg. Thank you for attending tonight. I'll call to order tonight's regular session Village Council meeting, October 6th, 2025. And if you join me with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, let me apologize where I misspoke. It's the 20th of October, 2025. We'll take a quick moment of silence. If you do roll call, please, Kristen.
Trustee Fields.
Here.
Trustee Wagner.
Here.
Trustee Reister.
Here.
Trustee Cox.
Here.
Trustee Kissinger.
Here.
President Pro Tem Keller.
Here.
President Frisbee.
Here. We have a full house tonight. Thank you all. We have agenda in front of us. Was there any changes, Mr. Mallory?
No changes to the agenda.
Any additions or points we'd like to add with the trustees? Hearing none, and entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Support.
We have motion and support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We have an agenda. We have any scheduled appearances tonight? I believe we have some next meeting, but not tonight. Public officials, seeing none.
No, but I have a couple comments before citizen comments. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wanted to, because I had a conversation. I'm hoping that Jason Wassler's able to hear me. I had a conversation with a citizen. When we do get involved with agenda item 11A, which is the Forest Main Sewer, and I'm speaking of the portion from our Spruce Street lift station going north to TU Avenue. So just that portion, which I know the new force main will go to. So in reverse order, I'm talking about the pipe that is in the ground from TU Avenue to the south. When we get to 11A, Jason, I'm going to ask you about the current pipe, the existing pipe in the ground. What are the plans for that pipe, which I believe the large portion of it will stay in place in the ground and be filled, but I'm going to ask you to explain that process of that pipe that we're abandoning from TU Avenue to the south. And the reason I bring that up is I didn't want any portion of any of the citizens that might have wanted to ask those questions to take up their 4 minutes, that we will cover those questions in that 11A presentation. But
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Now it's time for citizens' comments to the agenda. Now's the time to, if you wish to speak, please step up to the podium and state your name and address, please.
Is there any timer? Did we ever get that figured? Thank you. I appreciate it. You just give me a nod or something. No, I hear you. Guys give me a nod if I'm going off or something. My name's John Steers, 5786 East UB Avenue. For I don't know how many years now, we have been talking about this pipe that runs from the lift station to TU Avenue. I believe it was replaced, I don't know, more than 10 years ago. And so it's a fairly brand new pipe, or a newer pipe than the rest of the system that runs all the way to the Nash Street lift station. Our concern over the years has been that our township has brought us to at least one meeting, again, I don't know how many years ago, where the South County Sewer and Water Authority basically would not answer our questions about residents being hooked up on the plantation plat and the Cannon Acres, which is basically everybody north of V and Sprinkle up that way. And it's just been a real difficult thing to deal with the South County Sewer and Water Authority. They made several plans that involved a lot of development, not only in that northeast, like I don't know what you call it, there at TU and Sprinkle, and down towards what will be the new roundabout. And I've seen all kinds of maps, including our neighborhoods right there. And I just need to know, please, and hopefully the engineer can help with this, whether that thing is going to be dug up, which I believe in an environmental respect that it should be dug up. I don't see any reason to leave it in the ground. I think it's just going to create problems in the future with your new pipe. And I just want to make sure that that's the case, because all of these lots in Cannon Acres and Plantation are larger lots where we can put our own improved sewer systems. They're having a convention down in Indiana here in a bit where these systems were built for small municipalities, even like yours, where they have their own sewer system. We can build our own system on our own property and maintain it for a lot less, obviously, than what hooking up to sewer is. And that's, unfortunately, a lot of us get pulled into that because they want to, more people is less money for everybody else. And so if you can explain to that's never going to be a worry for us, or at least unless South County Sewer and Water Authority puts their own pipe in. And I want to implore you, do not allow them to do that at the same time that you guys are doing it, because it's kind of just going around what they've not been very forthcoming from us for all those years. So I don't know where I am in my time, but I really appreciate Jim taking the time to ask him those questions. I just thank you. I appreciate it. It's just been a real hard, long thing for a long time, and I'd like to put it to rest tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
You had 12 seconds, John.
No, thank you.
I gave you 12.
You get okay from that. See, I owe you. That was a good thing. I'd say that too.
Is there any other citizens that like to make a comment? I'll pass by comments and move to the general consent agenda.
I would like to put the total of the warrant report on the record. We ran more checks today, so the clerk has provided the council, but if you can, so the public knows that.
Yep, it is $90,547.53 total.
Thank you for that.
Mr. President, I'd like to make an amendment, amend the minutes from the last meeting, October 6th. They've got you calling the meeting to order at 7 o'clock that night. You were not physically here that night, so I'd like them to reflect that President Pro Tem called the meeting to order.
Any other corrections?
Kissinger, move as amended.
I was hoping those minutes
Support.
reflected how quick that meeting went.
I know everybody wants to go watch Lions football, so
Somebody is right.
so we have a motion and support. Did I hear a second? We have a second. Will you do a roll call, please, Christian?
Trustee Cox.
Yes.
Trustee Kissinger.
Yes.
Trustee Reister.
Yes.
Trustee Wagner.
Yes.
Trustee Fields.
Yes.
President Pro Tem Keller.
Yes.
President Frisbee.
Yes. So we have a few action items in front of us tonight. We'll move on to the first one, 11A, is Sprinkle Road wastewater system improvement.
Yeah, and as Mr. Steers, this has been in the works for quite a while. I first became aware of the need shortly after I started with the village in 2016. Had anything from semi-formal to formal conversations up until about 2019. We focused in the need, just to clarify, and that section of the majority of pipe from our Spruce Street lift station to TU Avenue, the majority was put in 1978 or 79 and is aged. There is a small section, I do believe, probably what you're referring to. It just wasn't the whole thing updated. But the need is there. We being the village of Vicksburg, for the growth of the village contained in the current village limits. This would put the village in very, very good position for the next 70 years. It also is a direct route to Zileman, which has a very large gravity feed all the way to the city of Kalamazoo. I want to publicly thank Jason Wassler, Vice President with Prime Newhoff, and instrumental in overseeing our infrastructure projects for specific the opportunity for council members to ask us questions and Jason questions, and he will get to the questions that Mr. Steers had and spoke to me earlier this evening about. But specific to action item 11A this was a extensive public bid and opportunity for all companies to bid on it. We are very pleased with the quality of companies that bid on the project. Specific to 11A, this is an award to the listed company, and Jason, I'll save him to pronounce it, but it's in the amount of $9,779,835.25. This was a little over $853,000 less than the second lowest bid, and an over $3 million savings from the third bid. The approval is contingent on the federal USDA closing the loan. Right now, with the federal government shut down, we are kind of caught in a very pause because these USDA employees have been furloughed. So we'll be in the flight pattern as soon as the government opens up. What we wanted to come in front of the council tonight for is to ensure we have your approval to enter this contract, and when the federal government opens up, which we're confident will be in short order, we will be able to take action on it. I think it's also important to know that this project has already been identified, and the rates within our current utility rates factor in this investment in infrastructure. This will not cause an increase in rates. Right now we have little over $3.7 million of the project being funded through the EDA federally, through a grant we received. I think it's $6 million and some through the USDA loan. The overall project, and that includes 11A and 11B, the total amount of money, when we applied for the USDA loan was, I think, 2022, and we're estimating out multiple years in a large project like this. I was pretty proud of the team at Prime Newhoff. They came in 10 to 11% within target. On raw dollars, that's about 1.1 million. The estimate was short. That does not include the contingency. So internally, we've had meetings at the Director of Finance, Michelle Morgan, myself, Jason Wassler, as well as Andy Campbell, who's the expert we use on utility rates, looked at, if you will, that shortfall and different mechanisms to close that gap. I'd be happy to answer any questions and dive more in the weeds, but this is why we are appreciative of the council supporting those rate increases years prior to the project turning dirt. We have saved that cash. We've drawn some criticism from citizens why we were running a cash surplus in our sewer fund, but this was the exact reason. And so we're in front of you tonight, both with 11A and 11B, saying that shortfall is going to be made up in cash. Raw numbers, we have $2.3 million in cash reserves on the sewer fund. This 1.1 would come out of that unassigned to a project. It's sewer money to this, as well as provide for the recommended contingency of another $500,000. When we get to resolution or item 11C, I'll go into more depth. Item C is a resolution reference a bond not to exceed a little over 1.6 million. That is simply what I will describe when we talk about that as an extreme insurance policy. We don't know between now and the next 15 months of the completion of that project, but I will explain more. I don't anticipate the need of that bond, but the reason to have it in resolution form tonight moving forward. But on the record in front of the council in public, it is our full intention to use the $2.3 million we've saved in the sewer fund on the balance of this. So it'll be funded by the grant from the EDA, the USDA loan, and then our cash reserves. So at this time, I would like, because turn the floor over to Jason. And first, Jason, if you can help us out with the clarification and answers specific to the pipe south of TU Avenue, the current pipe, what will happen to that pipe, and if it's staying in the ground, coming out of the ground, etc., and any potential environmental concerns you have with having nearly 30 years in this business. I'll turn it over to Jason Wassler.
Thanks, Jim. Can everybody hear me? Is it coming through okay? Okay. Okay, so starting with the pipe at TU Avenue, we had to get approvals before we could go out to bid on this project from both Eagle at the state level and also from the Road Commission of Kalamazoo County, since we're using their right-of-way. The first, call it 300 feet south of TU Avenue, the existing force main that's in service today will be removed entirely, and that was at the request of the county. The remaining pipe to the south that's going to be taken out of service is going to lay in place, and we'll fill it with flowable fill. And there should be no environmental concerns in the future with that pipe. It'll be filled with a light concrete material, commonly known as flowable fill.
So if I heard you correctly, you said the first 300 feet from TU Avenue to the south is being removed at the Kalamazoo County's request.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. If I missed something in my kind of verbal summary to the council, Jason, by all means, either correct what I said or add to it. And then President Frisbee, if you or council members have questions, be happy to take those. I had to flub something up there. Are you confident?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, Jim.
Do you have anything that maybe I said that needs to be corrected, or are you ready to entertain some questions?
No, questions, please.
Let the council members ask.
The diameter of the pipe that we're coming out of Spruce, or what diameter is in the ground now, and what size are we putting in?
Yeah, the existing diameter is 12 inch, and there's a section of pipe. I don't have the exact year, Tim, that it was built, but it's newer than that 1978 vintage that Jim referenced earlier. And that 12 inch is going to stay in operation as long as we can use it hydraulically. And then the new force main that we're going to install is 18 inch diameter, which is what the entire length will be eventually. But since there's service life in that existing pipe and it's 12 inches, we're going to continue to use that until it needs to be replaced.
And that section goes from where to where? The 12 inch?
Good question. UV Avenue is where we start the new Can you ask that again? I'm not sure I have an answer for you, but could you ask that again?
What's the capacity difference from an 18-inch from the 12-inch expanding to 18-inch? And well, if there are calculations to do, I think one way I would describe it, Ryan, is what that's going to allow us to do is when we bought the 10 acres of property that's already zoned industrial, that's attached to another, I think, 109 acres. So we have a total of about 119 acres within the village limits. It's currently all within the village limits and currently all zoned industrial. That size of pipe has been calculated if that property was turned complete industrial park, fully in use, that pipe would be able to handle that capacity.
Yeah, I can't answer your question directly with a quantitative answer, but I can tell you that the village was getting close to their capacity that was allowed by Portage dumping in at Nash Avenue, and so this is going to unlock that. During wet weather events, we were bumping into that capacity allowance in our agreement with Portage, and this is going to allow us to expand, like Jim just referenced, and then also just have that safety factor in there.
Yeah, and thank you, Jason. That's really what I was looking to help illustrate for anyone watching now or listening now is that I forget the round numbers myself, but that 18-inch is a significant improvement in volume and capacity. So, I mean, it's hedging against the future expansion, more use in our area and on our system that it's not just we're replacing it because it needs to be replaced or it's at the end of its life, but we're doing this to prevent more costly rework in the future by making it a larger size pipe also.
I would add to that too, it's also reducing some liability exposure within the Portage system because we'll no longer be going through that route. So thus, we won't have a percentage of those maintenance and repair and update and replacement costs that we can accurately predict over the next 60 to 75 years as well.
And there is a known cost that's coming up in that Davis Street interceptor that we currently pump into, that Portage just told us, there's maintenance coming up, could tally in $1 million to keep going that route. So you can look at it that way, where we're gonna have $1 million, $1.5 million of savings off of what we're spending by doing this now. But I think a lot of it, and a very good question, is the flow. We're looking to the future as this community grows. Heck, we were the largest growing community of our size in the state of Michigan last year. So, and it continues to go. We've purchased that property as an entity to expand our business development on the east side. You know, that's going to cause more flow and more needs. So, you know, I think we're doing the right thing to be proactive, look to the future, and we've been planning for this for several years now. Any other questions? So one other question is, on our forecast we put together, it's been a couple of years, right? The original budget estimate. How close were we to that?
About 11% and change, so pretty close.
That, you know, in business world, you want to be within 10%, so we're right there. And given the current markets with the inflation and the cost of everything, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, the company, I can just add, the company that was read low on the largest of the two contracts, the one that's covered under agenda item A, 11A, K-Gun Road Boots, just finished a project with Pride and Newhoff in the Muskegon County area that's very similar to this, so we're very comfortable with their ability to perform on this, and they understand the nuances of this type of pipe installation. And we're very pleased that they were interested in the project and bid on it and are a low bidder, so.
I will say I was at one of the sewer meetings and I misspoke to John erroneously. I knew part of the pipe was going to get replaced. I didn't realize that one section was going to be left in place, but I was trying to be honest and communicate with you.
We're gonna get it straightened out.
Right, right.
Can I just got a question.
Yeah,
I've
let's
been
do
in
it.
pump business my entire life. And, you know, y'all.
Can John, can I ask you a
Oh, yeah,
question, Mike, just so we,
Just a quick
Jason will be able to
question.
hear the question
Yeah.
better and.
Just a quick question in terms of why would you leave a 12-inch pipe going for a mile or more to the Spruce Station and not just put an 18-inch pipe in like you have going all the way to Portage? I mean,
I think
you know,
the short answer is at the cost.
well,
And
I'm just,
we have life left in the 12-inch pipe.
I know, but you've got also you've got great big dreams of this industrial park. And if they're not gonna need that 18, I would think they're gonna need that 18 inches sooner or later. It'd be a lot cheaper to do it now than later, but that's just a suggestion.
Good point. But we can only place so much burden on our residents, you know,
I understand.
and we've all taken it on the cheek the last 3 years with our rate increases, but.
I understand. I've just seen this happen before in my career, that's all. You know, that's,
Yep, agreed.
but,
But we're doing what we can, we're looking forward, anticipating the future where we have an influence and trying to make it right for the future of for this community.
Mr. President. Hey, Jason, the 12-inch that's staying in place, it's still going to be utilized. What's your guesstimate on life expectancy?
Oh, it's several decades, yeah. Like you said that before, I don't know the exact vintage of that. Jim, do you remember? I want to say it was the early 90s.
That section of the pipe is definitely in the 90s. I know one section is 97 and 98, and one's a little before that, so.
Yeah, so I would guess you're going to get 50 years plus out of that.
So just so I'm clarifying, because I got a little confused, so the 12 inches is stuff that's coming from Spruce Street up, and then at TU Avenue, it's going to be an 18-inch the rest of the way up, is that correct or no?
At UV Avenue, it's going to be 18.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And the reason that location, that's where the 1978, 79 smaller pipe is, so.
We're getting knocked from Portage for getting close to the overcharge, I would call it, or in baseball, it'd be a luxury tax.
It is not, I don't want to counter, but I know my friends in Portage are listening. It is agreement that dates back to the late 70s with the city of Portage, and is a necessity to ensure that is treated up in Kalamazoo. And all they're charging us is our percentage of flow maintenance to keep those pipes much in the same that we charge our customers to maintain our own pipes. We are charged a percentage of the maintenance within the pipes we flow, and very appreciative of it.
Is there an advantage with that federal interceptor versus our current Davis Creek? Right, we're gonna end our flow output at the interceptor on Xylem.
Correct, and that was at the request of the city of Portage. One, due to the aging continue to go down Nash, and then a line along Austin Lake, which flows in the Davis Creek lift station. So it's an independent lift station that has aged out, and they're predicting within 3 to 5 years will need a complete replacement. So they wanted to ensure the calculations of flow that go into the lift station would be set prior to them going out to bid. So their request was to put our capacity of flow north on Sprinkle to Xylem. So advantages, but we honored the request of the city of Portage to have the flow go to Xylem. Part of that will also be, and part of this award is a biofilter that will be located at Zeilman and Sprinkle, we were able to successfully obtain an easement from the Stryker Corporation, which we very much appreciated, to put in that biofilter system there will help quite a bit in taking out the odor as the flow moves north on Sprinkle Road. So I would say it's in the relationship of the city of Portage and honoring their request to go to that. I think long-term, a certain advantage for the village of Vicksburg is predicted less ongoing monthly and yearly cost in systems that we don't currently own.
That's kind of where I was getting to, is the cost of our future processing and the potential of the major replacement of the Davis Creek lift station. And I just saw those costs, and I look at it as that's offset what we're investing. You know, that $3 million total, depending on Portage where they want to apply that fee. You know, we could get hit with $1 million, $1.5 million fee. So to me, that's a net savings of what we're spending now by going around it.
Yeah, just, I wasn't with City of Portage, and we have a long agreement with them. It wasn't, I realize that we work with them on this, but it's a pay me now, pay me later type of situation. And it's better for us and better for them in the long run. We do this up front. So I understand.
Well, we've got Mr. Wassler's here. Anyone else have some questions? You did a really good job, Jason.
Thank you, Tim.
We appreciate everything you've done. I think now it falls back on us to make these difficult decisions. Do we want to keep Jason on for the?
Yeah, we're gonna keep him on the next two, but this, we have to take the action items one at a time.
Yeah.
Mr. President, I move to approve action item A, Sprinkle Road wastewater systems improvement for the amount listed of $9,779,835.25 as presented.
Support.
We have motion and support. Kristen, would you do a roll call, please?
Trustee Reister.
Yes.
Trustee Cox.
Yes.
Trustee Wagner.
Yes.
Trustee Kissinger.
Yes.
Trustee Fields.
Yes.
President Pro Tem Keller.
Yes.
President Brisby.
Yes. Thank you all. Move to 11B.
11B is a component, and Jason, can you give the quick summary of why this bid was separated out? But again, it was a competitive bid where we had very quality companies bid on it. What's in front of you tonight with this lining, it's in the amount of $758,880, which was about $75,000 less than the second bid and nearly $500,000 less than the third bid. But Jason, you explain it a lot better than I can of why this was separated and the specifics. I always explained it like putting in the force main was being done by a general practitioner, medical doctor, where this procedure is more like a heart surgeon for heart surgery, but maybe that's retired cop vernacular, so I'll turn it over to the engineer.
Yeah, so this is a CIPP, stands for cured in place lining. It's a very specialty type contractor. There's not a lot of other work that's involved besides what they're going to self-perform. And so what this is a liner that goes in the downstream receiving sewer system. And the reason that's needed is to combat the effects of the sulfuric acid that's produced with the sewer that's being pumped to this location. So this again is part of the request from the city of Portage in our negotiations with them and this new agreement. And we separated it for, like I just said, it's a very specialty type service, and there's really no reason to include it with the other work being done. So.
So it's a liner that goes into the lift station or into the pipe before it gets there?
Yeah, it goes into the gravity sewer, so, we're gonna discharge the sewer, in a receiving manhole. It's gonna, like Jim mentioned, the biofilter before, that's part of that first contract with KNR. It's gonna treat the odors, and then the receiving sewer pipe gets this, liner installed, in place, so we don't have to dig up the pipe, it just gets installed in place and cured in place, and that will fortify the pipe structure itself, so that it won't be, harmed by the new influence that's coming into it.
What's this liner made of? So this is H2S gas that you're talking about, or it could be H2S gas, right?
Yep.
Yeah, what's the liner made of?
Yeah, so it's, I don't have the exact, material type, but it's very commonly used. It's got it's like a felt, it looks like a piece of felt, and they invert it, and, they have to bypass the sewer around this section, and then they invert it through this pipe, and then they pump it full of water, and there's a resin in there that will cure in place, and it basically just pushes that felt liner, if you will, out into the existing wall of that pipe, and then once it cures, it basically just replaces the structural integrity of that existing pipe.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions? Well, we appreciate that. Jason, we have 11B in front of us for the Sprinkle Road and Wastewater System Improvement, the CIPP lining. What is this council's desire?
I make a motion to approve the Sprinkle Road wastewater system for contract number 2, as written.
Support.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and do a roll call, please, Kristen.
Trustee Fields.
Yes.
Trustee Kissinger.
Yes.
Trustee Wagner.
Yes.
Trustee Cox.
Yes.
Trustee Reister.
Yes.
President Pro Tem Keller.
Yes.
President Brizzi.
Yes. Motion carries, thank you.
11C is, as I described in, if you will, an insurance policy. We will first use our cash reserves, but if an unforeseen fill in the blank show, obviously a critical situation, which we fully describe in detail to the council and the public, but we have to prepare ourselves. And this resolution, we worked with our bonding attorney, Steve Mann, who authored the resolution. It puts us in a position that if this unforeseen situation occurred, we would already have all the proper governmental steps in place to go out to a bond under the bonding authority of state legislation. So I'll be happy to answer any questions specific to that. But as again, it was in consultation in multiple meetings with Andy Campbell, our utility rate expert, as well as Steve Mann, our bonding attorney. Jason was present for those conversations as well in the village clerk. So.
Well, it's good to be prepared. We certainly don't want to spend it. We certainly don't want to have it, but if, as Jim said, something unforeseen, we don't have to stop production and come and meet and go through all this again. So. Was there any questions for Mr. Wassler or staff on that request?
This seems straightforward. We need to have contingency. Insurance policy.
Well, hearing no further discussion, entertain a motion to.
Mr. President, I move that we approve Resolution 01-10202025 as presented.
Support.
We have motion and support. We'll do a roll call, please, Kristen.
Trustee Reister.
Yes.
Trustee Wagner.
Yes.
Trustee Fields.
Yes.
Trustee Cox.
Yes.
Trustee Kissinger.
Yes.
President Pro Tem Keller.
Yes.
President Brizzi.
Yes.
I appreciate that, appreciate again, Jason, I know you have 3 children and a family, so I know this coming really helped us out, your explanation. I did have one question for you, if you can hear me.
Yep.
Over your right shoulder, I see a written narrative. I believe it says the city of something. Is that the city of Walker, a project up in the city of Walker?
Yeah, it is.
It is. All right. I'd appreciate when I watch that next public presentation in the city of Walker, maybe the Oswald Park, which you got state awards for, to the village of Vicksburg, to
That's the one.
there we go. There we go. We appreciate it. There, right there, the downtown.
Yeah, that's the downtown infrastructure.
All right.
I just couldn't see the right wall today.
All right, no problem. I do appreciate it, Jason. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jason.
Sure, thank you. All right, Jim, did we want to talk about the notice of intent, the publication or declaration of intent?
That's all within the resolution.
Yeah, 10-4, gotcha.
Yep.
All right, so that takes us to Mr. Mallory's report. No,
Yeah, I will say too, obviously, pardon me?
Under declaration of intent members, did you want?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were up,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah, Director of
Yeah, I
Finance.
thought you were in the declaration of intent. Now, you're 11D. Yes, in
11D.
front of the council, I have placed, we're approaching in January, our Director of Finance is 9th year of tenure for the village of Vicksburg. We'll save the results, but I mean, our audit presentations for 8 or 9 years in a row now has been flawless. We've talked in the past just on that topic of the seamless and efficient manner. I wish the council could see the amount of detail and effort that our Director of Finance puts in that area and gets full credit just on one item. But overall has been an invaluable partner in this process and really thinking about compensation and those incentives and what is out there in the marketplace now. I wanted to place in front of the council a 10-year amount for the Director of Finance in the amount of $8,750. It would be applied to the HSA, healthcare savings, thus having a little bit of savings on the payroll side and most impactful for the employee. I'll be happy to answer any questions, but looking for a motion, support, and ultimately approval. Our village clerk processes the payroll. That would not take place until January of 2026. Just wanted to get out ahead of it and place that in front of the council tonight.
President Frisbee, I move that we approve the Director of Finance adjustment of compensation as presented.
Second.
Well, we have a motion and support. Any discussion, further discussion? I just would like to. It is well-deserved. She's been a very valuable asset, a great employee. We don't all see what she does behind the scenes. I've been on numerous conference calls with her and the staff, and she's just really invaluable to this organization. We run really lean here as an employee staff, so they all step up, you know, all of them really step up and make it happen. But yeah, you look at what that position here currently pays versus where one could get that similar role, and yeah, she deserves it, and I'm glad this was brought to the table. And you, sir, you wanted to?
Just so the board is aware, the fire authority has retained her. She has, in her limited time, she helps the fire board out as well. So she's been invaluable for us in the reorganization, so it's very, very well deserved.
We need to clarify, that arrangement is by contract with a private company that Michelle has.
As I said, it's an after-hours thing for her, so it is not done during village business time at all, so.
Any further discussion? When we have a motion and support, we'll do a roll call.
Trustee Wagner,
Yes.
Trustee Kissinger,
Yes.
Trustee Fields,
Yes.
Trustee Cox,
Yes.
President Pro Tem Keller,
Yes.
Trustee Reister,
Yes.
President Frisbee.
Yes. Thank you for that. So it takes us to item 12, our village manager report.
Yes, a couple updates on, excuse me. First, Christmas in the Burg. Christian Wines, the village clerk, is leading that committee and has met multiple times as we move towards December 13th, which is a Saturday. The festivities will start. Of course, we'd encourage anyone to start pre-12 noon, but we'll have formal activities with the streets shut down as has been the case the last couple of years with a trolley or specialized bus taking people through tours of the village and many, many other activities that we'll be announcing in our meetings in November. But thanks to Christian to leading that. Thank you for John DeBalt and others that are a part of that process to ensure that once again the village is highlighted. We'd encourage the public and anyone, we do have the floats application on our website, but call Village Hall, even if you want your business or entity or group to walk the parade route. We'd like you to fill that out and really have the parade quite extensive this year, and looking forward to a good time. But go ahead.
I'm just wondering, I was a little disappointed last year that we didn't have the craft show at the church, and I was wondering if we are going to reinstate that for this year.
The craft show was run by the Methodist Church and was their decision last year. They elected not to have it. This year, I know conversation has taken place because of the farmers market, and 107 is not a location that we can have it on Main Street. So I believe we've approached the church to be able to put the farmers market with their vendors in that location.
Okay, thank you.
Can we please make it a point to get some social media posts and possibly text out to the community to let them know about getting out some, if they are interested in being involved with the floats and stuff, so that there's time to prepare?
Sure.
I would entertain assisting anyone on this staff that would like to put together a Vicksburg Village Council float of sorts.
Looking at you, Chad.
Wendy, we've done this already, haven't we?
We have. We did a fine job. Go ahead, Jessica.
Stepping up.
All three of us,
Yeah, yes, yes.
Weird target. Okay, all right, just an idea.
And I wanted to also clarify, Gail, that I believe the church is going to once again have their pancake supper and have with that a craft show as well as the farmers market. So it's not kind of in place. They're looking at hosting all three within their facility.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Should I talk with them?
More than happy to lobby and say it's a great thing. And
All right, I will be happy to do that.
I do know the pancake dinner was very well received the last
Okay.
few years, so.
Thank you.
No other questions? The last is kind of in conjunction, we're just gearing up we looked at it throughout the summer. The Berg Bucks program is a gift card specific to Vicksburg, Village of Vicksburg businesses. We were able to secure a $25,000 grant, which provided the funding for the incentive for the gift card. So if individuals get a gift card under the program, whether it's in $25, $50, or $100 denominations of the gift card, they'll receive a 25% bonus card. So be it $25, $12.50, and so on, of additional spending. Or conversely, we were looking at bringing $100,000 would get $125,000 of retail revenue within the Village of Vicksburg. Happy to publicly say we're I think just past 23 businesses that have agreed and signed up for the program. We are working on others, and we will be sure to list in our promotional materials those retail establishments that are participating in the program, as well as those that are not. So the purchasers of the cards will know. I'm not quite certain. My family's been in the retail business for 50 years. Why a local shop would not participate in this program. There's no additional cost to them. But everyone makes a decision on their own. So, and I guess more of that to come from me in the future. But that program is going. Once we get it finalized, hopefully here in the next few days, we'll begin a promotion to focus on shop local and shop and invest with our local stores as you enter your holiday season shopping. So.
How will the local people know where to get these bucks?
It'll be an online, and it'll all be in the promotional, there'll be extensive marketing through social media and links to be able to purchase those cards. So, you happy to answer any questions, or?
All right. Any other questions for staff? Well, let me find out where in the heck we're at now. That takes us to our committee reports, no? Any update you'd like to share with trees?
Just have planted a few more trees, and we will have a meeting on October 29th, so.
Well, one thing that prompts my memory, because we had an application, it doesn't involve monetary, which should have been on the agenda tonight. We had a group approach us. It is receiving staff support to put in honorary trees for Mr. Tim Moore near the pavilion at the Historic Village, as well as, help me with the female's name, an additional tree in vicinity of the print shop. It won't be right next to it due to we have water lines and other DPW concerns, but it'll certainly be in view of the print shop. No cost to the village or taxpayers. This group would pay for the trees as well as the plaques, and they'd be put in so they filled out the application appropriately under policy. Staff has reviewed the application and is in support of allowing this to proceed forward. And maybe we can take that up since it's not a monetary, but just a recognition, and then we can get additional growing time with the trees in the ground. So if you'd want to, we can put the application on the next agenda item. It's whatever the council's desire is, but hearing trees prompted me.
Does this go along with the process that was put in place for memorial type stuff?
Yeah, it followed
Perfect.
that policy as well as it filled out that application connected to that
Perfect.
policy.
Can we okay it tonight, or is it too late to do that?
We've already amended the agenda.
Yeah.
Okay,
It needs to go on next meeting.
okay. Thank you.
I have no problem with putting it on next meeting.
If you would, Christian, put it, make sure it gets on our next meeting. Thank you. Parks and Rec?
We have our meeting next week.
Yes. Cats is next week. Planning Commission was last week.
Planning Commission was last week. We went over the annual report where we got numbers for, among other things, the bird days, and the numbers have honestly held up. The numbers have honestly held up year over year. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, but I think on average 3,900 people outside of the village would come on Wednesdays.
Yeah, 29.
29, thank you. So,
From outside the village.
Yep.
and
Unique
another-
numbers.
another
Unique.
1,000 from
Yep.
inside.
So 39 total,
right.
total 39, 29 for outside people. And then we were at a South County or a Southwest Michigan First meeting that these numbers came out, and Jim shared them as well at our planning commission, that those numbers on Berg days actually extended past Wednesday. So we saw a market effect on our weekends that linked to that. So it's not just like, oh, we're having a great Wednesday with all these, these 2,900 people. We were seeing an increase on Friday and Saturday as well at retail establishments and restaurants. So great numbers. Just to quote Jim, it's not an expense, it's definitely an investment for our village. Bird
Yeah,
days
it's
are.
anticipated well over $500,000 of economic impact.
Thanks.
Yep.
The sewer was a quick, of course, next week, but I don't think we spoke to it last time. They had their audit. Their audit went really, really well, except suggestions that they are taking up is segregation of responsibilities with multi-signatures on the checks. And they had, I think I reported out several months ago, earlier in the summer, that they put out almost $1 million bond. Through that, 11 lift stations have been rebuilt, reworked in some form or fashion. 3 new lift station pumps have been replaced, so they're investing in that line as well. And it takes us to the fire.
I could say no report, but that's not accurate. So we had it'll be 2 weeks ago tomorrow, we had a meeting at Schoolcraft Township Hall. Mr. Steers attended. It was more of an informational meeting, so we had very good flow back and forth between the board. I know Trustee Reister was there as well, to try to explain kind of where we were going with the financials and the reorganization. We then also had our regular meeting last Wednesday. I'm pleased to report we've hired a new administrator. Her name is Sarah Mullendor. She lives just south of here on Buckhorn. She'll be starting the 1st of next month, and very excited to get her started. So the one thing that I emphasized with all the candidates that we interviewed, and we had some really good candidates we interviewed, was that they will have set hours. Whatever those hours are going to be, they're going to be set hours. So whether it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because they will be part-time. She will be part-time. So I did speak with her last week, and I do want to bring her to a meeting in the near future so I can introduce her to you all, so you'll get to put a face with a name. And I do want to also bring her, once she gets settled, to bring her to the village hall so she can meet the staff. So anyways, so that's going on. The roof, I don't know if the roof is done or if it's in process.
Being worked on.
Yeah, they did say the rain they got last week, they had 0 water in the building, which was awesome. They were very happy for that. They were ahead of schedule according to what the chief said, and we're kind of moving along, so that's it.
Yeah, thank you. That takes us to citizens' times, or anything on their minds? He's making a move.
I'd just like to thank the fire authority for having an open meeting when we met the last time, not the last time, but it was a little bit disappointing, well, a lot disappointing in terms of, I believe, our entire community in terms of emergency service is fractured. And being from Brady Township, I'm a little embarrassed about the way things are going in terms of we have a plan to build a building, but we really don't have any plan to how the building is going to be outfitted, and all we really have is we know it'll be staffed. And I heard talk at the meeting too about our future of having our Brady station, which is now pushed a lot closer to Indian Lake and the Nazarene camp than they ever thought, to the village possibly, and nobody said this for sure, putting their fire station more on the west side of the village. And then Schoolcraft to cover Texas, because that was the person that was talking about this, having a station there. Well, there's 3 stations, 3 brand new stations. And at the same time, we're having this talk of the county, you know, coming in and saying, well, we really, as the county doesn't like us, they don't like small places. Everybody wants to, they would just assume we'd be one big municipality or several. And we have all of these competing visions going on, and I really am not sure that our service is going to be the same or better as we get these things done, whatever our vision may be. And I just am not really happy, for just speaking for a citizen of Brady, how this has all went. I think we're going to be competing for people, and we're going to have to go to everybody making the same wage, even hope of it getting anybody. And I'm just concerned about our emergency services. I called so I got a return phone call from the lady who does the new emergency management. There's only 2 people there. They basically just went and said, okay, you 2 girls, you handle everything. And I wasn't really confident after that. The lady that is there, I had a great talk with her. I feel confident in her and the 2 people, but we have to get our emergency management stuff in a cohesive manner with everybody. We can't just say, oh, well, for right now, we're going to go do this, and you're going to do that. If we have a problem, we're sitting ducks in terms of our cooperation with each other to really handle things. And if the county's going to go in and do this and just say, okay, well, you're going to have a countywide emergency management, well, then by gosh, let everybody else pay for it. Then we don't need to be just building fire stations to wait for the county to say, hey, now we're just going to go ahead and take you all over. So I just don't, it's kind of like the sewer or what's going on in Schoolcraft Village with all this. Anyway, we just need to get along together a lot better than we are. Thank you.
Thanks, John. So that takes us to trustees' time, with Trustee Fields.
When I was out and about in town this weekend, I saw that a couple establishments, a couple of the restaurants have started some upgrades to the outsides of their building. I just love that this is snowballing, and everything downtown really looks good. Very excited about that.
Trustee Wagner.
One thing I'd like to say is it's really exciting to see the great coverage we've had lately of the success of Berg Days and the impact in local media. So I love to see that getting more recognition regionally for what we're able to do through that program for our community. And it's always great to see recognition when something works out and people take notice. So some of the long nights and hours that our staff puts in on that behalf, I appreciate very much. So also, let's go Lions.
Trustee Reister.
Well, I also am really excited about the extra exposure that we're getting, like on TV and radio and so forth. And I always, at night when I watch the 6 o'clock news, quite often they'll show Vicksburg, and that just makes me feel really good that we are now a part of that whole situation. Also looking forward to Halloween, hoping that the weather will be good, and I'm hoping that all of the children of Vicksburg will have a really good, safe time.
Thanks. Trustee Cox.
I'm going to take you up on putting a float together from the village council for the Berg Day kinds of things. So if we want to actually consider that, I'm game. So that I'll just say out loud. I'm also competitive, so I'd love to take on some of those floats. I'll put my hat in the ring. I'm also excited about the momentum that we've got going in Vicksburg. I'm excited to support that from a trustee perspective, and then just continuing to partner with businesses in Vicksburg that share the same vision that we have for our community and the people who live here. We want to grow our community. We want to grow and support the people who live here, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that that trajectory continues in a positive direction.
Thanks. Trustee Kissinger.
To kind of piggyback on everyone else's statements about being recognized, it was on News Channel 3, if that's where you want to go see it on the web now. It's pretty cool. During that article, the reporter said that like 3 governmental bodies spoke positively about our government and about our village, about us, capital US. So I just thanks to our team. Like we've said, we run super lean, but Jim and staff, the DPW, the police department, all of them, and us, we're doing something right, I feel like.
Yeah. Thank you. President Pro Tem Keller.
Wow, that's real. I also want to congratulate the staff, Jim and Christian and Michelle and the rest of the staff, DPW, the public safety officers. I know they bust their butt every day for this community, and I greatly appreciate it. The work shows off. It really does. I'm going to go a little personal here. Yesterday, I must say our daughter, because if I didn't, my wife would be upset because she is our daughter. She ran a half a marathon yesterday in Detroit. She is the former female athlete of the year at Vicksburg in 2012. She is also 13 and a half weeks pregnant with our 3rd grandchild. So I thought that was really awesome. Got to track her on our phone, and I was a very proud father when I saw that. And I know her mother was extremely proud as well. So I just want to publicly say that, Vicksburg athletes don't go away. They just keep striving for more. So, and
Rockstar.
fire
That's
up Chips.
I just want to know, since President Pro Tem Keller sat in on my behalf last meeting, did he forget to call on himself? No, he got it. All right.
I could have spoke twice.
Yeah. The Senior Berg Days, what a great turnout. I think, Jimmy, there's like 200 seniors there and dozens of support services available too. And just want to take a minute to thanks to Frederick Construction for supplying the lunch. It was really well received. I don't think Jim went in deep enough on that, but I know everybody wants to go watch a football game, so I'm not going to dive in too deep. But on the website, for Discover Kalamazoo, there's a really great monthly report on the analytics of just what these events in the village are doing for this community. It's phenomenal numbers. The people that attend it, the spike in rates at the different venues, and it's really good. And also thanks Jim and the staff for just a great expose by WWMT on 11 o'clock news. What a phenomenal article they did. So thank you all for that. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, meeting adjourned. Thank you all for being here tonight.